Hello everybody. Well, if it's nutritious food inside your belly, let's go and see Tip Top Terry. Well, boys and girls, we're here with Terry. Careful, he's got a weapon. How are you, mate? You alright?
Hi, Tony. Fine, thanks. Hi.
Good to see you.
Nice. You
Look at this.
To around, Tony?
I'd love one, mate, yes. It's looking fantastic.
Follow me. Start up here, Tony.
Where are we looking?
Bush green beans. Bush green
These are the
beans,
French
look.
beans, aren't they? They're all French.
Yeah, they only grow about 18-inch max. And you get a load of what I was talking about. You get a load of green beans off them.
These are the ones I've tried now. I've got them in the polytunnel.
Bush green beans and the flowering nice now. So,
That's a nice little bed, that, isn't it?
yeah. Those are Mammoth Onions, but they're only young yet.
Look at them little labels there.
Oh,
Them's Mammoth Onions. How long have they been off then? Have they?
They've only been in about 5-6 weeks.
Right.
But they've started to develop now, which I'm pleased with.
They're coming up nice, them, aren't they?
Yeah, they're doing alright.
And how big do they grow then? About
They can grow
6 or 7 inch round?
Yeah, they can grow really big. So I've seen some at 8, 9, 10 inch wide. They're really big onions. I keep praying I won't mangle that way.
Well, yeah, you never know, do you?
That's a little bed for my wife. She grows the radish and young onions and
That's the one that you built, then, isn't it?
yeah, I made that out of a
Pallet collar.
pallet collar. But she sees to them.
Spring is there at the front, radish
Yeah,
there.
spring is radish and then strawberries there, so you try and get what you can in what soil you've got, Tony, if you know what I mean.
We're going to, after net hours up, I think, when the strawberries start coming on, which they're going to start, well, they are on now, actually.
A few canes we're netting over, it stops the birds getting at them.
It's stable enough, that, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah, it's good, that, mate.
Yeah. Then we go on to the onion bed, which the bulbs have started
Right.
getting bigger now, so the bulbs are swelling out on them now. And I've checked all the bulbs, they're all in good condition, there's no soft bulbs, no nothing, so we're doing alright with the onions. I'm quite pleased this year, because we had a bad start and then all of a sudden things decided to come together and
There's not a mark on them, is
touch
there?
wood, we're getting a good crop through.
And what variety are them?
Them are Centurion.
Centurion?
Onions, me always.
Right.
They're good keepers.
Good for
They
storing.
keep through winter and everything on good. They are good keepers.
Right, mate, yeah.
And as for the potatoes, I'm well pleased with those. I can't grumble at that.
That's a sponge jungle one, isn't it? Eh?
That is one good crop of potatoes.
Are they all main croppers, them?
The main crop, yeah.
They're all main crop.
crop, these, Tony.
Right.
And like I said before, I had trouble with these to try and get them going and going. And all of a sudden, since we got the sun, they've bounced up, so...
They have, haven't they? Hey, they're in really good condition, aren't they?
Pipers.
Marish Piper.
And as you can see...
Scottish them, aren't they, Marish Piper?
They've just started flowering now, Tony. There you go, little buds coming off.
So how long do you leave yours then, do you?
I don't touch them. When they've flowered,
Yeah.
you'll get good big flowers on them. Then the flowers drop off. And that to me is the end of the spuds growing.
Right.
And then you'll find out after they'll start collapsing. I'll
So
leave
stems
them. I don't
start falling
touch
in.
them. Because they've collapsed doesn't mean for say they're ready. I'll leave them for about 2 or 3 weeks. Then I start digging up. And then I don't use them potatoes for 3 weeks after that. Because
Right.
if you use them straight away, they're absolutely full of starch. And if you want crispy chips like I do, and my wife does, and my grandchild and my son, we'll leave them, I don't dig them up for about a month after they've all gone flat. And then some of the starch comes out, and when you fry them in frying pan or chip pan, they're crispy as heck, they are, honestly.
Right, I didn't know that. That's there's a new one.
Of saying, oh, that's it, I'll have that, throw it in chip pan and they come out soggy. It's because they're full of starch, the starch has to get out of them a bit before you can do that.
And that's how you get the good floury potatoes, is it then?
Absolutely
Crispy.
beautiful, beautiful potatoes. Leave them in the ground for a month, even 2 months, don't touch them.
Look at that, it's a flaming jungle, isn't it? That? It's a potato jungle.
They've come up all at once, but they are good crop on them. They're good stems on them as well, Tony.
Yeah.
There's your stem. They're good stems on them. Really thick stems.
Well, if that's any indication, there's some good spuds under there.
Spuds, Tony, I'm praying. But they've really done well, my potatoes this year.
How big are your beds, these
There's
here?
4 beds there.
What kind of, are they like, what size are they?
Well, this one is about
10 foot, that one, is it?
6 foot by 10 foot. And
6
these
by
are
10.
about 7 foot square those.
And they're absolutely chock-a-block with spuds.
I give them a good feeding before I put them in. Look what's happened.
What did you feed them then?
All I put in is chicken pellets and bloodfish and bone.
Right.
But like I said last video we did, I double dig. I dig it once, then the pellets go down a bit. Then I dig it again to get them deeper, the pellets and the bloodfish and bone. Because don't forget, the spuds form in deeper soil.
Yeah.
So when you double dig, all your fertilisers going down further down in the soil where the spuds going to produce.
So they'll be planted down then about what?
Oh,
16 inch
I
down.
would say 18 inch.
About 18 inch down.
Deep. But I make
Main croppers, aren't they? Yeah.
Crop, I make sure the fertiliser is 18 inch down.
Right
so
down at the
spuds
bottom.
can feed off it.
Got you.
It's no use putting fertiliser 4 inch down and your spuds 18 inch because there's nothing there for them to feed.
It'll not get a chance washed down either over that space of time, will it? So you double dig these ones.
I'm well pleased with them corner this year.
So there's the no dig method and there's the double dig method that Top Tip uses.
It's really hard, but it's worth it, believe me.
Yeah, it's a graft, isn't it, that getting them deep.
I mean, I look like Quasimodo when I go home after a double dig, but it's worth it, honestly.
That's me every time I go
You
home.
plant a potato at 18 inch and there's no fertiliser there, you'll get potatoes, but not.
But you'll not get the crop you want, will
because
you?
they feed off the fertiliser.
And it's bloodfish and bone and chicken manure pellets that you use.
That's it. Throw them in and then double dig. Get the fertiliser down as deep as you can.
Right.
And your spud is 18. I put mine about 18 inch down. Press it into the fertiliser and then cover it. Another tip is never bank your potatoes up as soon as they pop through. Because if you do, it's clever how they do this. When your potatoes pop through the soil about this much,
Yeah.
they're all over the place.
Yeah.
As soon as they give them till that high, then bank. Because if you bank when they're small, they'll start coming out the sides of the banking.
Yeah, you don't know where they're running, do
You
you?
don't know where they're running. If you leave them till they're that high, they'll come straight out the top, and that's when you get straight lines of potatoes coming through.
Which you've got.
Which I've got.
Because they are, they're proper vertical, aren't they, going up?
There's not a one, because I don't bank them until they're about 8-9 inch high, and then I bank them.
That's a good tip, Terry. That.
And then they come straight through the top of the banking, instead of coming out the sides.
Got you.
And that's the best way to do it.
You got your flowers coming there, haven't you?
There's flowers all over, Tony. I'm well pleased with them. But they're all over the potatoes. That's telling me there's a lot of potatoes under there.
Whether it's right or not, that's what he's telling you.
Exactly.
Oh, here we go.
We're coming to the hot house now.
God, I bet it is hot in here.
This is well stocked.
Oh, mate, yeah.
These are your carrots.
Flipping
My
heck.
wife's in here. This is my wife's domain, not mine. Mine's the beds. But she's done well with the carrots. They're still producing, they're still growing. And remember the tip I said? Carrots at front, peas at the back.
Peas at the back, yeah, so you can get to them.
But the peas, plenty say you should I don't pollinate peas, never have done, because they pollinate themselves. Because they're so close together, they pollinate themselves.
And you'll be getting bugs creeping and crawling about in here anyway, won't you? They'll get to them.
Well, I've a row of carrots there, I've a row of carrots there, and I'm going to put lettuce in here in another week or two. But the peas, as you can see,
Yeah, they're
they're
coming on nice,
pollinated.
aren't they?
And I don't pollinate no peas, they pollinate themselves. The only bugbear with peas is you have to keep clipping them on the netting, because as they grow,
Yeah, they'll want to come forward as well, won't they?
But I'm having a good crop of peas. I'm pleased with them. Everything's booming, Tony, thank God.
It certainly is, mate, in here.
That's another mammoth onion. On its own.
All right, yeah.
That's another mammoth onion.
It started bulbing
Yeah,
a bit
it's
there at the
bulbing.
bottom, innit?
It's bulbing. Tomatoes with different varieties in here. This is called a black Russian, black tomato.
Right, yeah.
They're all labelled black Russian. These are red cherry. And 2 more black Russian at the end. And then at this,
So the black Russian, are they a normal full-size
they're
tomato
a
then?
full-size tomato, only black.
Right,
We've
very
never
deep
grown
colour.
them before, Tony, never.
So
But
it's a bit-
they're doing well. In fact, they're flowering now.
It's a bit of an experiment that then, isn't it?
Yeah, but we put 3 black Russian in, and believe it or not, they're too nice. I'm pleased with them. And then this side we've got Gardener's Delight and cherry tomatoes.
And you do let them bush a little bit, don't you? You don't just do the
No,
single stem, do
I'll
you?
leave that to my wife. She sees to all this. But
Right.
she does break off what she has to break off, but she's not doing a good job up to now. And then here is the cucumber, which I'm really pleased with. They've shot up those. Really shot up.
They're about 3 times bigger than mine. When did they start, do you know?
I've had these in about 5 weeks, something like
About
that.
5
They weren't that
weeks.
size when I put them in.
They've come on strong,
Well, in
then.
fact, there's a young one here. That's one we've grown from, but all of them are grown from seed.
And
As you can see, Tony, they're flowering.
they are.
They're all flowering.
So you'll be getting cukes on there, won't you?
Yeah, but I didn't think
They're
they'd
good
go that
stems
far.
on them and that, aren't
They're
they?
thick stems.
Do you put any feed in the bucket, Terry? Or
Do you want the truth?
yeah.
Plenty made the mistake of. I mean, I water my tomatoes. I give them a really damn good. Been in your pocket, Tony, as well.
There he is again.
Have we got?
It was such hot stuff, Terry, that the phone overheated. Can you believe it? He was just about to tell us
About the cucumber.
about the cucumbers.
Right. Watch this. This is honestly. You might think I'm telling lies, but I am not telling lies. Cucumber plants,
Be on fire this phone in a minute. Watch.
as you can see, you're getting the flowers and the cucumbers on.
Yes.
But you'll laugh at this.
Bone dry.
Bone dry soil. No water in it.
I can't
The
believe
proof's
it.
there. There's no water.
There's
in
no
that
water
soil.
in that.
The proof's there. All I do with these, an inch round the outside of the bucket, I'll put about quarter to half a pan all around the bucket twice a week.
Just twice a week, and that's inside this polytunnel.
And I do not water near the roots because water will rot the roots. Never water near the roots. And I'll go any bucket, I'm not telling a lie, there's your dry soil. There's no water in it. And that, the proofs in the pudding are growing these.
So twice a week,
About an inch wide.
half
all
a
round-
pint all around
all
the
around.
bucket.
Don't touch it then, twice a week. And that's what you get. The flowers are coming on.
And
And
di-
some more there, look.
And did you put any amendments in the soil? Any feed in the
No, all
soil?
it is compost. No feed in it.
Just
no
bog standard
Bog
compost.
standard compost. And like I said, it's just bare dry soil what's in it. And
That's
there's the proof.
unbelievable, isn't it?
And I feed it twice a week, an inch round, inch wide, all the way round, about half a pound, just over. And I don't touch them then, only twice a week. And the same goes for the Mammoth Onion. As you can see, I have a Mammoth Onion here, and it's bulbing now, and you can see the art of it. I feed that once every 2 weeks with water. And as you can see again, the proof's in the pudding.
So no actual feeds going into that?
No, just compost.
Right.
And the proof's in the pudding, the soil is bone dry.
So they don't need a lot of...
The soil on that is bone dry. It's the same with that as well. I've not proved it, but they reckon you will rot the roots on there if you keep drowning it.
So that's sending out big roots, and it deep roots that obviously to seek out what it needs.
What it does, the roots on these, if you keep watering, won't move. If you leave them dry like this, the roots then will start go down looking for soil, and the bulb will start swelling out. That's the secret. And it's same with the cucumbers. As you can see, I have a lot of flowers on it. It's not dying.
Well, that's
And
going
the
to be
leaf- and the leaves are big.
a cost effect. And there's no mosaic on them or anything,
No.
is there?
And they're sending the feelers out for gripping the mesh behind. I always put mesh behind so they can grip it. And they're perfectly healthy, and I feed them twice a week on nothing but water. No, I don't put no fertiliser in. An inch wide round the bucket twice a week, and that's all I do. With about
That's
probably
amazing.
half a pound, just over half a pound.
That's cool, that really is.
But I'm baffled why a cucumber is so full of water, but yet I feed it with less water. So I don't know where the water's coming from.
It must be absorbing it through condensation that builds up maybe inside here. That's amazing. The proof's in the pudding there.
That's a young one, and the same again. It's all dry soil. There's no water in it at all. All what's in the buckets is compost, no fertiliser, no nothing. And they're feeding off the compost. And because I'm putting less water in, the roots are going down looking for more water, plus the plant's getting bigger.
Right.
And it works. As you can see, it does work.
So that's seeking its energy from the sun, from the photosynthesis.
On
It's
the
probably
leaves,
absorbing it
on the leaves,
through
and then the roots are looking
condensation.
for more water, so that makes the plant bigger as the roots are getting bigger. That's how I put it.
That's
down to
fantastic. There's no dryness on it. There's no mosaic on it. There's
No.
nothing wrong with them leaves.
Nothing
They're
at
spot
all,
on.
and all that is dry compost. As you can see, it's bone dry.
That's
There's no
fantastic,
water in
mate.
that, none. Now I fed that 4 days ago. with
You
half a
watered
pint
it?
I watered it 4 days ago with half a pint of water, and it's drying out now. And I won't water it today till about probably another 2 days. Then I'll put another half a pint of water in it. That's why it's dry. I've not watered it for 4 days.
It's 25 degrees in here.
There you
British
go, Tony.
summertime. That's brilliant. But the tomatoes, how often do the tomatoes get the...
I water them every day, don't get me wrong, I
Yeah.
don't drown them. I just water them enough, and then I put water in the trays underneath. As you can see, they've soaked water up. That was full this morning.
Yeah, you keep them damp,
And
don't
then
you?
I feed them probably twice a week.
And what
Tomato
feed?
Proper tomato food.
Like Tomarite type of
Yeah,
stuff.
mix it with the water. And they're doing alright, they're doing well. I'm pleased with them.
Have you no comfrey, you, Terry, on here?
You have a barrel load at the top. And
Because comfrey's supposed to be good,
sometimes
isn't
I
it?
mix comfrey with tomato food.
Right.
Depending what mood I'm in. But I've mixed
I
a
get
barrel
you.
load at the top comfrey, and it, believe me, it stinks. But they're growing alright, they're doing well. There's no leaf curl, no nothing.
No, they're doing brilliant.
These, by the way, yard long green beans. These do grow to a yard long, but I don't know what they're like for eating. I'm just going on for showing. But as you can see, they've got all now.
And they'll
There's a-
climb up your trellis
There's a
here,
bean
won't they?
coming on. Well, sometimes they can get 6 foot high, 7 foot high, and then you'll see your long green beans coming down, which are about 35, 36 inch long, depending on how you feed them.
And you won 3 years on trot with your
I
long
won
beans,
3
didn't
years
you?
on trot, but the feed for them, I only give them seaweed liquid. Because
Right.
they make their own, every green bean makes their own nitrogen.
Fixes it, doesn't it? Fixes
Yeah.
the nitrogen at the root.
They produce a lot of nitrogen, them.
Yeah.
Seaweed's not got that much in, so I feed them on seaweed, and well, as you can see, they're thriving on seaweed.
Yeah. And all the carrots around. So you've got little bed in front there,
Yeah.
full of the carrots.
All them's your carrots.
Beans
going on.
round the side, carrots
And
down
like I
there.
said, your peas, which are booming, and as you can see, is flowering. I never ever pollinate. They pollinate themselves. As long as they're close enough together, they'll pollinate themselves.
And you don't feed them either,
I don't feed them. I only give them water.
because they fix their own nitrogen as well. don't they?
Before I plant,
Nothing wrong with them.
Before I plant the peas, I will put chicken pellets in the soil
Yeah,
and a touch of bloodfish and bone. Dig it in, and that's the only time I've fed them.
but they don't get liquid feed, they just get watered, don't they,
Just get watered.
after that.
Yes, thanks. But that's the pellet on them.
That's fantastic, that is, mate. Proper good use of space.
Oh, who's this?
Oh, hang on.
Phone call. Right.
Hello, mate.
These are the rest of the beds I'll show you. These are beetroot beds. Which are doing well.
Ruby beetroot, these.
The beetroot, yeah, ruby red. It's called. Ruby red beetroots, and they're doing well. They're getting big now. There is beetroots coming on them now. I know you
Yeah,
can't
there's
see them,
some
but there
roots to
is.
it.
Now this bed I talked about last year. Last time I did a video.
Yeah, it gets claggy, doesn't it?
It gets claggy this. So I thought I'd put red onions in and rish them.
Yeah.
And They've took.
They've took all
I
right.
wouldn't have thought those would have took in heavy soil, but they have. Everyone's bulbing and they've took. So I know what to put in next year now. It's rather beetroot or red onions.
Red onions will work.
And they're just starting swelling out now, the red onions. And they've taken the heavy soil which I was on about on the last video.
Yeah. You've not put anything in that will lighten that soil.
No,
it's
no.
just the same as it was last time, isn't it?
All I've done is fed them. No fish and bone chicken pellets and left them.
Yeah, in the soil, leave them in.
That was shocking. I didn't think those were taking there. They all took. This one's my collie bed.
Yeah, cauliflower all the year round.
Cauliflower bed and my Savoy cabbage bed. They're coming on now, Savoys. They get a lot bigger than that, Tony.
My little ones love the Savoy. They like that crinkly.
Crinkly, yeah, it's just coming on now. Them will go about probably 2.5, 3 foot high before they're ready for pulling. I know they look flat now, but they will bounce up then.
They'll bush up then, won't they?
And then the next bed is the leek bed, Tony, which I'm pleased with. That's taking nice.
Yeah. They're all like nice little neat soldiers on parade, aren't they? Them?
And the leaves get like that, so wide. That's told me they're took. You try and pull them out now and they'll be well rooted them now.
Right, they're stuck in.
Always look for the flat leaf. And they're well rooted.
Do you ever get any trouble with rust at all? Leaf rust? Never, you never get it?
You do, Tony, when they get fully grown and they've been in the soil, I don't know, 2-3 months, then you start getting the rust on.
Yeah.
Because they've been in the bed that long, if you know what I mean. But they're still usable, whether they got rust on or not, you can still use
You've
it.
just got to keep an eye on it, haven't you, so it doesn't get too rampant.
Yeah, that's the courgette bed, Tony. I put 5 in.
There's some onions around that and all, isn't there?
And 5 is enough, I'll tell you that, because they grow massive, these things. They really, in fact, they're flowering now, Tony. They grow massive. And I had some spur onions left over, and I thought rather than throw them away, I put them round the courgette bed.
You're filling your spaces, aren't you? That's what you want.
That way, Tony. Well, they are flowering. That's got a cucumber. That's got a courgette on already.
Well, you give us 2 of them, didn't you?
See?
And mine's got one on.
There's a
Mine's got a courgette on.
That's got one on. So they have 2 now. I lost one, which was that. I put a new one in its place. But once they get old, believe me, they're massive courgettes. They really are. Well, you can see the size of the leaf, and that's not fully grown.
And you have to keep them watered, don't you?
I keep them watered regularly, yeah. And like I said, the spur onions here, I'd have just put them round the bed. I'm not throwing them.
No.
And they'll take them onions, no trouble. And the sweet corn's coming on the other beds, Tony, but I only feed sweet corns potash.
Right.
They like potash, so I put potash powder in the soil before I plant them.
Sulphate of potash.
Sulphate of potash. They
That's
go well
it.
on potash. That's what I use, but obviously people have their own way of growing sweet corn. That's my way of growing them. I know they're only young yet, but they will bounce up then.
You favour the potash?
In fact, I know they're bouncing up because this one here, I can tell they've got old, was that size. And now look at it, it's coming on nice now. So they've got old now, so they will bounce up, Tony, now.
Yeah. We like sweet corn. I'm gonna see. We've got. I think we've only got one bed of 12 in though.
Yeah.
On our side. But you get two to three, don't you?
Yeah.
Off each. Usually.
I put mine in blocks, obviously, because they pollinate each other.
Yeah, the wind pollinated, didn't they?
But last year, there's not a lot growing sweet corn this year because the rats have eaten them. And I know exactly why. A rat, believe it or not, knows exactly when the sweet corn's ready for picking. And they climb up the stalk and rip it to bits. So this year, I'm going one in front of them. I'm putting 4 sticks on each corner and netting them.
You're going to net them?
I'm going to net them. I'm not losing sweet corn to a rat. But they know exactly when that sweet corn's ready for picking. As soon as they climb up the stem and start ripping the sweet corn to bits. That's why people on here are not growing this year. They're sick of the rat going up and ripping.
Well, the mice had me seedlings twice. They had them.
Mice is another, Tony. Mice is another.
They buried. They got to probably that size, and then they tunnelled under and ate the corn from underneath, the kernel from underneath. And of course that destroyed them.
They're not getting me this year.
They did me pick.
I'm putting 4 poles up and nets this year when they're ready for picking.
They've done me peas and they did me sweet corn. These are nice, these little window box type things, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put begonias in, just set it off. We used to have young onions in there last year, but I've changed our mind now. So we put begonias in, make it a bit more colourful, and put these young onions at the top.
It's looking really good, mate, this, isn't it?
Round the archway there, that's a jasmine, by the way, Tony.
Where are we going? Oh, yeah.
Round the archway, that's a jasmine. That's 5-year-old now. That's 5-year-old, that now, jasmine.
It's going all the way over there. Is it jasmine both sides?
Yeah, and I planted that when it was, and don't laugh at this, 10-inch high.
It's come on a bit, hasn't it?
It's come on a lot, yeah.
I like these butterflies, me, that you've got all the way around.
Sets it off, no, you know, allotment's not just for veg, it's for make it look nice and whatever.
And the hawk up there.
And the hawk, and the dragonfly.
I said dragonflies, you said they're not, they're butterflies, and I thought, I'm looking at a dragon last time. But yeah, they're all different types, aren't they? It's great, mate, it's brilliant, isn't it?
You make it look nice, whatever.
Do you do them with fret saw then? You make them all, do you?
I make them all with scroll saw.
Scroll saw?
Yeah.
Oh, they're ace, pal.
Scroll saw now.
Weeds.
I made the dangly thing with my scroll saw.
I beg your pardon. Oh, yeah.
The dangly thing,
yeah. Not that kind though, honest. Well, that's a tour of my plot, Tony.
Here he is now, meerkat.
Oh, I made that as well.
Weeds for sale.
Weeds for sale. Do anything on
You've sold up though with bloody weeds, haven't you? You always keep on. Do you hoe these beds then? Yeah.
I do. I
you
hoe
hoe
regular to stop the weed.
Hold
I mean,
them
you can
down.
be on your hands in these ages, but I just, in fact, these are due for hoeing now. I hoe the onion beds, but this has just been hoed actually. Well, you can see the channels where I've been with it, but you have to keep on top of the weeds. That's the only trouble.
The hoeing disturbs the roots of these fine weeds on top, doesn't it? And
Yeah, but don't hoe deep. I just hoe the surface.
just skim it.
If you go down deep, I've done it myself. You can cut a root off. So I just take the top, or the top,
Yeah.
which when the soil's soft, it gives them more room to swell out.
Right. Got
I
you.
do that with my onions and all, because onions don't like rock hard soil, because they can't swell out with the soil being hard, if you know what I mean.
I get you.
So I hoe them regular, my onion beds. But
Oh, it's brilliant,
touch
mate.
wood, Tony, up to now, you know things can change on an allotment. Up to now, I'm over the moon with the allotment. It's doing well up to now.
It is looking nice, isn't it?
It's doing well up to now, the allotment. I'm pleased with it.
That's what I've got to get done this week. Them nets, get them
Netting.
nets on.
Have you netting to do yet?
I've netting. I've got 2 big long beds I'm going to fill up. I've got 48 brassicas that need to go out. So I'll need the space,
That's a
won't I?
lot of planting. A lot of planting.
Well, thanks very much, Sherry.
Welcome, Tony. Thanks
Once
for
again.
coming anyway. Thanks to everybody watching.
Tip top, Terry McGUIRE. Fantastic, pal.
Thanks, Tony, anyway.
All right, mate. See you later.
Take care, Tony. All the best.
See you
And
after.
all the best to everybody else.
Bye bye now, folks.
And I'll let you know when I'm pulling the veg.
Yes. Brilliant to see Terry there. We're going to have another catch up with Terry when it's harvesting time, maybe a little bit before that. We just want to see how he nurtures and looks after his plants. He's fantastic, Terry. Really, really good. He always gets really good results. On the long beans that he was talking about there, he was talking about those yard long beans. They're well over a yard. I think the longest one he's got is just short of 4 feet long. He's won the long bean competition for the last 4 years. He knows his stuff. So yeah, catch you later, boys and girls. Remember, we love you all, and take care of yourselves and each other. All right. Have a fantastic rest of the weekend. Ta-da now.